All right, welcome back to another episode of the Baytown Babysitters Club. In this episode, we're doing 2017's Attack of the Killer Donuts. This movie's on Peacock, and well, it's there.
Yeah.
So if it interests you, like it interests us, then that's where you find it. So let's just hop right into it. It's going to be a movie like you expect it to be with a title like that.
Yeah.
You can't walk into this thinking that you're going to get like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So you have to like set your limits to being realistic. And I didn't before I started watching this
Even
for
though
some
that
reason.
you compared the movie Killer Donuts
Mhm.
and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, those titles basically say what happens in the movies.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I meant like quality wise. I
Oh
meant
yeah.
like Suburban Sasquatch versus like Scream. Like it's
No.
two different levels of horror movie.
Yeah.
Um
One
so
is a horror movie, the other is just horrible.
yeah, okay. Yeah, Scream
Uh,
Scream sucks. Um
no, sir. I will. Yes, I might like Suburban Sasquatch, but
Sam
it
Squanch.
yeah it is a horrible movie, and
Right, yeah.
that's where my love for it comes from.
But
Yeah,
but no love for this one, even though it's
there's a love, but
okay.
it's a different kind. I would say okay, like those movies. Okay, if we're jumping right into it and stuff, those movies, Suburban Sasquatch, Lamageddon, Shark Exorcist, shit, how many others did I fucking want to bring on here? Um,
All
Clown
of them.
Motel.
Yeah,
That that
all
uh,
of
that
them.
yeah, Clown Motel. I believe there's like 14 more shark ones and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like Cyber Shark or something like that.
Yeah.
But those those are like people have an idea and a cell phone and they're gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
This it felt like there was a little bit more money.
Yeah, there's definitely like if I had to guess, I would say there's some sort of like crowdfunding to this
Yeah.
or like, college grant money that went to this for like film school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so let's just hop into the movie. This movie, if you haven't guessed it yet, is about attacks from killer donuts.
Killer Donuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy to even like fathom that it is exactly what the title says. But basically, what they did was somebody watched The Reanimator and said,
And
you
Return of the
know,
Killer Tomatoes.
yeah, and said, what if we just blended these movies and tried to make it funny?
Yeah.
And then this happened. So we have our Herbert West character that is creating a reanimating serum.
The uncle
And
that needs the iPad all the fucking time.
yeah, he's really interested in that. I think that's for
Yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
But he successfully creates this. He goes to get said iPad from his nephew at the donut shop, gets into a wrestling match with the owner, and somehow distributes the serum accidentally to donuts.
Somehow that computer generated image jumped into the vat of fryer and stuff. Did you see that shit? It shot out of his pocket. It went
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
that was the exact same thing as the suburban Sasquatch arrows,
Yeah.
like the arrows.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we have killer donuts, basically.
Yeah. That do two different things.
Right.
It-
So here's my first thing. So a lot of what I'm going to discuss is how it doesn't make sense.
no.
A reanimation serum is just that, a reanimation serum, which means at some point it must have held life in order for it to be reanimated. Donuts do not hold life at any point in time. So, how did this work on donuts? Number one. Number two, the donuts can kill you in so many different ways,
Yeah.
but not an obvious one. They are burping gases that people are inhaling that has no effect on the person.
No.
They have to jizz on the person or bite the person, or the person has to ingest them.
Eat it. Yeah.
So
Too much. Just one.
all
Just
yeah,
one.
already, I mean, I get like the cream filled and the jelly filled donuts can squirt and like cause damage. Fine, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, but like already from like Jump Street, there's a bunch of like plot holes
Mm-hmm.
in this movie, just right off the bat. And so I found that a little bit disturbing. Honestly, the only reason I finished this movie is because Rachel's character is like the best. Um she like I felt like without her in that movie, like the friend, the best friend, the girl best friend or whatever,
Yeah.
without that character, this movie would have been like unwatchable, because
Mm-hmm.
her line deliveries and the lines that she was delivering were good enough to keep me going, okay, well, I want to see what she says next.
Yeah.
Like when the manager like takes the sip of the orange Shasta and puts it back, she's like, "So you're just gonna put that back, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
Like those little things were like what kept the movie going for me. Um, but
Okay. I have to admit that I kept thinking that was that girl who sung Friday. I
song
I
Friday.
Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Remember remember that?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rachel, no.
okay. So it's
Something
not
black.
her name isn't Rachel. It's Michelle. I wrote it down.
Could be
So
Rachel. Let's call
I
her
mean,
Rachel.
yeah,
Fuck it.
fuck it, whatever. Her
Who
name's Rachel now.
cares? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but the plot line of just too much, like, okay, let guys, one decision. Do the donuts just turn into killing like donuts, or if you eat the donut, then you become a zombie? You got to pick fucking one. They
Mhm.
can't do both. To choose one. And I think that would have made a great decision. The serum falls in the donuts, and the donuts become like the killer clowns from outer space.
Mhm.
They just become killers. Or no, these donuts that are being made at this shop because the serum's getting pumped is turning everybody who eats the fucking donuts into cannibals and shit.
Yeah, so that would have made the movie even more convoluted because there's like,
You sure? Just one or the other?
yeah, I would go one or the other because number one, the donuts already have three ways of killing you.
Yeah.
Number two, the idea of a donut attacking you and being successful is absurd.
Yeah.
Like it just it doesn't even, no donut in that movie like should have struck fear in anybody. I don't even care when the whole donut shop was doing the poltergeist thing. Like
Mm.
I would have just walked in there and slapped them. Like they're fucking this big. Like just throw them out the window.
The
Like you'll be
donuts.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're donuts. Like just
Donuts. Yeah.
roll them down a hill. Like
Yeah.
who cares? Like so I think that the turning them into zombies is a good idea, but they should have went with that alone
Yeah.
or not at all. Like, yeah, that's like if that was an idea, then they should have just went with that.
Yeah. It would have been
Um,
easy. It would have been, and it would have also like being a little like nod to Brain Dead,
Yeah.
Peter Jackson movie,
Hmm.
because your catalyst is the rat at the
Hmm.
beginning of the movie, and then the rat turns everybody into zombies, and then the zombies turn everybody into zombies, and then it's a zombie movie basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Um, I do think that this movie started out like a stepmom porn video
I
where,
noticed that.
yeah, it was like, all right, well, these people are clearly the same age.
Yeah,
And like she kept calling him son so many times that it was like they were trying to convince you that they were like there was an age difference, but there
mhm.
wasn't.
No.
And I was just like, I was like, when he was like, can I get like $50? I was waiting for her to be like, well, I have to blow you before your dad gets home,
Yeah,
before this, like,
but you're my
I,
stepmom.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
Like
oh my God, what the
no, no,
fuck?
no. Like Blair, no, that's later. We do
Yeah,
that movie later,
yeah,
okay? Because
yeah.
we know this one isn't gonna sell. The other one is gonna make tons of money. No,
The
that's later.
reason you're in this one is because you did
No,
that one.
no. Oh,
So
I keep mixing up the scripts.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was a little but it was honestly kind of funny because I don't even think they realized that they did it. Um
Mhm.
it was just like I think they were just like trying to make an opening to this movie, but somehow they accidentally made the exact opening to every porn like that.
Yeah.
And it's that I was like giggling because I was like in my head I was doing the like, oh well, you blow me before dad gets home,
Yeah.
like, that whole thing. Like I was just, oh man.
That's the only thing it was really missing is like, I tell you what, your father, he's just never home to
Yeah,
cut the grass and stuff. And I was like,
yeah, exactly.
where are we going here with it?
The grass thing was right there as well, like,
Yeah.
yeah, the chore or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. The chore and shit. And then we just find out that the horny old bird gets laid by his best friend, which is another porno.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
My best friend's hot moms and shit, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think that's what it was. It was like, guys, I got a great idea for a porno. Well,
Yeah,
we can't, we're not doing that and shit.
yeah.
All right, well, fuck it. We'll make it a horror movie.
Yeah, yeah, basically the all the girls showed up on set and went and get naked, and then they just filmed it
Yeah,
anyways.
fuck it. We'll make it. Yeah, I mean, you have literally every act. If you cut out the whole donut thing, okay, other than them working in a donut shop,
Hmm.
this is a porno.
Yeah,
This is just a porno, one of these like fancy ass pornos that people, it's like, oh, I did not like storyline.
yeah.
But like if you cut all the donuts out, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. If you look at it, okay, so the mom scene at the beginning, and then you have the girlfriend who's not she's my girlfriend, but she's not my girlfriend because she's banging Billy or whatever in the car. And then you have the love interest, and then you have my best friend goes over and bangs my mom. No, he doesn't. He just goes over there and they eat dinner and they have a great time and shit. It's like, and then you have the old lady who's, I guess, sexually aroused by
Hey,
donuts.
donuts. Yeah, yeah. God damn, this movie's so weird. I
This
was,
is a porno. This is a porno, and nobody wanted to do the porno. So
yeah,
they just like,
yeah.
fuck it, we'll make horror movie.
Because even the ending of the movie, where like the girl pops from under the covers, she's like, "Hi, Mrs. Whatever your name is,"
Yeah.
and like it was like I was just waiting for her to crawl in bed with him.
Yeah.
Like like the whole, yeah. This is a porno without the
Yeah.
nudity
Call me
and sex.
Allison or whatever her
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
creepy when
yeah.
I'm just sitting here with my titty bulge out and shit. Um,
But oddly, for a porno, severe lack of tits.
yeah, this is not a horror movie. This is a comedy. Okay. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
so they're trying to be classy. I mean, even the violence in the movie is kind of like there's a couple parts in it that I thought was good,
Mhm.
that really like showed gore and stuff, and I was like, yay. but they didn't hold on it for long enough, and so I knew automatically. Nope, nope. The girlfriend banging what's his face in
Mhm.
the car
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, maybe we'll get, a rated
I
R,
mean, I
but
saw it in the like when you go to the movie and then like the trailer automatically plays in the background or whatever.
mhm.
When I saw her running around in her bra outside of the car, and then it got to the scene where like she was banging him in the car, and then I remembered the part where she still had her bra, and I was like, well, there's no boobs in this movie
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she was boobs girl
yeah, yeah. That,
and possibly the mom.
or maybe the old lady who's sexually turned on by donuts and stuff, where
Yeah.
she decides to put a nightie on to eat the
Yeah.
donuts.
Yeah.
Uh, but location is kind of weird in this. That is like the worst looking donut place in the world. I don't care how good those donuts are. I would never fucking eat them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just strip mall donut place, you
Yeah,
know?
it just
Like
looks
it's just
it
yeah.
just
I mean, it didn't look good.
yeah, it didn't look good. My brain kind of like fizzled out on certain characters, so you're gonna have to like remind me if you can on certain characters. The hippie, okay? The hippie guy who I guess gives them pot brownies or something. I don't know.
No, he gives them a donut. He's the competitor of the
Uh,
donut.
okay,
He's
that
like
makes sense.
the other donut person, and he brings them his new creation. And he's like, I'm selling them for $3.50 a pop. And they're like, "Huh, you're so stupid." And then the girl eats one, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is the best donut I've ever had." So yeah, he's just the competition.
Okay, that makes sense. Like my brain just kind of
What if
like
that little detail made the whole movie click for you?
no,
And then
yeah.
you were like 5 stars. Like,
But like yeah, like when you kind of like you're watching a movie but you stop paying attention all of a sudden, like you just
yeah,
like
it's been a running theme this week or the last
and
couple
yeah,
weeks.
and like and then I'm looking up and stuff and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And like they just give him a sugar donut and stuff, and then I guess it just kind of turns him into ooze or whatever. Fucking
Yeah.
so, but like, yeah, it just like, okay, yeah. But we do have star power in this movie. One of the saddest roles for fucking Pony Boy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he was really over the top. And I think that that was what annoyed me. Like,
Well, yeah,
well, not only were you Pony Boy in one of the greatest movies,
yeah,
now you're fucking random coked out cop
just
that
yeah,
is just like,
overacting.
yeah, just super overacting. But uh yeah, I mean,
Another thing that I kind of maybe phased out too with them
hmm,
is why were the cop asleep when the perpetrator kind of left to go turn into zombie?
he knocks him out. He
Oh,
grabs
okay.
him by the head and does that thing
Okay.
and knocks him out and then kicks the door off the cop car
I'm
and
gonna
then
be
goes
doing
out
this a
and
couple times and shit. Cause I
yeah,
was
that's
sitting
fine.
there and watching it and shit, and like I'm like, did they just fall asleep? Are they trying to say that law enforcement officers are just like sleepy fellows when they don't get their coffee and donuts? I mean, I know it was light when they got it and now it's dark, so maybe yeah, they're just sleepy fellas, but like and then I was just like, well, what the fuck are they doing sleeping?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah, they
got
got
call this in. You're not calling this in. So
well, the whole thing to me was like another one of those dumb things was so this dude when we initially see the bad guy when the cops go into the donut shop the first time, his hands are handcuffed behind his back.
mhm.
And like he like wiggles his way to the handcuffs are in the front. And then he's like, oh shit, they're coming. And he like hides his hands, but then they hand him a donut and he reaches and gets it. So like clearly, if you handcuff somebody's hands behind their back and then all of a sudden they're in the front and they grab a donut, like I could understand if like the donut part didn't happen and they
Mm.
didn't notice, because like, why even bother looking back there? But then also at the same time, it's like, where's that fucking cage
Yeah.
that keeps you guys separated? And then also, he took a donut from you with his hands out in front of him.
Yeah.
So it was just like that. And then, like, when the cops show up to the house to investigate the horny old lady, the horny old donut lady,
Yeah.
um, they go in the house and they're shooting at the donuts, and it's like no muzzle flash, no
Yeah.
nothing.
No.
And then it cuts to the kids outside and you hear bang, bang. It's louder outside than it was inside. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude, the inconsistencies in this movie are the things that make it funny.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't funny written, except for like Rachel's character, which is still Michelle, but we're just going to keep calling her Rachel. Except for her, like, she had funny lines, but the only like hilarious stuff was just how inconsistent the movie was.
Yes, I will say that. I mean, it would have been better if the cops were sitting there going pew 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 like that and stuff. It would make more sense. I thought the CGI, like the computer image that they used over and over for the same donuts and shit,
Hmm.
that kind of like it's just like, oh, we couldn't like just make a bunch of silicone donuts and like hanging them off a string. If we're going like you have to go full on if you're going to do something like this.
Hmm.
Like if you're going to make it silly, make it really fucking silly. Don't like, oh, we can get, some guy to put all the donuts in the CGI. No, just sit there and have them on strings, these donuts, like just go get like a Dunkin' 12 pack and shit and fucking just put like vampire teeth in the little hole and shit and just like just that would have been funnier.
That would have been funnier. um so the one thing that they did do that I thought was kind of a good effort was, in the beginning of the movie, not all the donuts are active. Like,
Mm,
so they took like either whether it was fake donuts or real donuts and like glued them to things so
yeah,
that they were visibly there and they looked real, and then had like the CGI ones bouncing around.
yeah,
So the blend worked kind of well to like throw off how bad the CGI ones were. But then they abandoned it and made every donut fucking move.
mm, the CGI.
So, but I will say that it was probably a lot of fun to make this movie, like being the actors and or the film crew, because they threw hundreds of donuts at these actors.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, they were like pelting them with donuts. And that's probably hilarious to be
yeah.
like, this is my day at work, is being having donuts thrown at me while I swipe at them with a butcher knife or a chef knife.
This is kind of like you ever seen Hobgoblin?
No.
I think it's called Hobgoblins, but it's basically just a Gremlins ripoff
Mm,
and a Ghoulies ripoff. It's like like if it goes like Gremlins, and then next would be Critters, and
right.
then next would be Ghoulies,
Yeah.
and then next would be like 24 other movies. And then there all the way at the end, there's a movie called Hobgoblin.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. Ah, damn it.
Give
Yeah.
it to me. That's how awesome this movie is.
Yeah. But Hobgoblins, they do that. They have three hobgoblins that, a special effects guy and his car made. And like they their arms are like this, and you can tell they're on like sticks,
Yeah.
and they're usually behind fucking couches, and shit, and then they're just like like that, like I said, Just go full on. You know, that's what needs this. When you start trying to pretend, no, this is a theatrical movie.
Yeah.
We have to do like, oh well, the computer program we're using was the same kind that they used in Jurassic Park. These donuts are gonna look like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, you know, that shit. Like, no, don't do that. Make it silly, make it campy. I mean, like once more, we say you take all the donuts out of it and it's a fucking porno. That's a start, you know.
You could leave the donuts in it because the one guy was about to bang a donut. So uh that there's that. All
Hey, there
right.
might be a market for that.
I mean, I'm sure if you look on the internet hard enough, you can find people banging donuts. Um, all right, let's do this because we're just going to keep talking about how shitty this movie is. Um,
But
is there any parts? It's not
is it
shit.
shitty? Oh,
Um, no, it's
but
not.
is it shitty? Yeah, I mean,
It's not shitty, but like, it's not. uh, Okay, it's
I,
silly. It's
it's
silly.
silly. I don't see it as like a contender. Like,
No,
I'm
no,
not gonna
definitely
remember
not.
this movie. I'm not gonna go and rewatch this movie. If am I glad I watched it? No, I'm
Yeah, I
not gonna.
mean,
Are you? I'm not gonna
I
say like
well,
it's a
I,
badge of fucking honor. You
well,
know?
no, but like, I'm glad I got it out of the way
Yeah,
because the title is so like seductive.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all right,
Exactly.
let's
Yeah,
fuck this movie.
yeah.
Let's
Holy
Holy
Trinity.
Trinity. Yeah. No.
No,
And then
kill.
yeah, kill. And then 2 stars.
I'll give it 2 stars. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. See you next week.